Hey Shark fans, it's your pal Ian with a Breaking It Down video blog for you to break down tonight's game against the Detroit Red Wings. Normally I would do a written blog for this, and for those that gave me the feedback that they don't want to see the written blog go away, don't worry, this isn't going to replace the written blog. The reason why I'm doing a video today is because I'm just kind of feeling under the weather, and I thought I'd do a video blog quicker than a written one. After how many takes this has taken me, maybe not, but here I are. This is the bet I've made. So let's get down to business. Tonight's opponent is the Detroit Red Wings. The Detroit Red Wings are third in the Atlantic Division. They are currently sitting with a record of 33, 15, and 11. Don't mind me as I kind of just check my notes here. And they, what can I say? They're 3 points behind the Tampa Bay Lightning. This is a team that, we've always kind of waited for this team to fall off and just be dead. And so far it hasn't happened. Losing the number of Hall of Fame players that they've lost over the course of the last decade, half decade, what have you. You'd think this would be a team that would, really fall on bad times, but surprisingly, they've really managed to, stay competitive. They're not the Stanley Cup threat that they were once, obviously, but they are still a very good team, and they've done it mostly in-house because with the salary cap, Detroit's not a huge free agent market anymore. Detroit's had a hard time, in the free agent market because not only do they have to obviously worry about their own cap situation, but they can't just once upon a time when Detroit was winning those Stanley Cups, some say that their roster was making as much as $71 million. When you consider that's higher than the cap today, that's crazy, but that's how they won, man. How else do you fit Fedorov and Yzerman and, all those guys on that team? So they're definitely a good team. They're definitely built well from within. I mean, Ken Holland, what can you say about this guy? He's probably one of the best GMs in the game. Maybe again having a little hard time with the trade market, but you can't argue with the drafting that they've done and the players that they've brought in. Maybe they're a little more lucky than they. I think they get more credit. I think a lot of the draft is luck. I think, and I don't think enough when it comes to Detroit. Everyone's just like, oh well, they're just geniuses. And I think that it's, I think there's an element of luck that probably gets overlooked in the draft when it comes to Detroit. But, you can't really complain especially if you're a Detroit fan. So, Detroit, they've lost their last game, but I think that, like I said, they're not going anywhere. They're going to easily finish in their division. Third in their division at least, and they're probably going to be a tough out for whoever they face. If I'm the Tampa Bay Lightning or the Montreal Canadiens, I'm not looking so forward to that first round. Jimmy Howard's probably one of the more underrated goalies in the league, in my opinion, anyway. I also think that they also have obviously Datsyuk. They have Zetterberg, who won't be playing tonight, but who's still, these guys are still great talents. Datsyuk is, I don't think there's anyone that can do what Datsyuk does with his stick. So let's talk about the San Jose Sharks, obviously, because that's our team. The San Jose Sharks are obviously in a rough spot right now. The Sharks, obviously, they're outside of a playoff spot right now. Even a win tonight, and they're not in the playoffs, but they're well on their way to getting back in. I think it's important that the Sharks obviously start winning because a lot of teams have started to use up their games in hand. So now the Sharks need to start really buckling down because if they're going to make it, I mean, you have to win games. That's all there is to it. There's no more excuses. There's no more anything at this point. The Sharks just have to win games. Obviously, tonight, expecting Antti Niemi to start. I wouldn't expect anything different against a team of Detroit's caliber, but maybe they'll throw me a curveball and start Stalock just to make me look dumb. As far as actual starters, I don't know. I'm assuming based on the time of year, it's going to be Howard versus Niemi. So the Sharks obviously coming off of a loss in the Stadium Series, which is a huge blow. But I think having the 5 days, 5 or 6 days or whatever it's been to stew on that, I'm hoping the Sharks really come out of the gate tonight and they really come out hard. And they play that 60-minute effort. If they come out of the gate flat tonight, I'm going to be so annoyed. I mean, I get that they've been off for 5 days, so maybe we shouldn't be surprised if they do come out flat tonight. But I really want them to come out firing tonight because, like I said, you need to. All that matters at this point is 2 points in the 2 points. So the Sharks need to definitely get their acts together if they're going to make a serious playoff push. Do the Sharks do anything at the deadline? I don't think so. I don't know if it's worth it, to be honest, at this point. I think if they do anything, it's selling. I don't think that they should buy. I don't think that if they buy a piece that this is going to somehow make them a playoff team or give them a better chance in the playoffs. I really think that this is the year when you don't sell assets in order to try and win now, because I really don't think the Sharks are in any position to win now. They really, with all the problems they've had this year, I don't see it. I mean, would I love the Sharks to come out and, you know, run roughshod over everyone in the playoff field? Obviously, I'm a fan. I want them to win, but my heart wants me to win. My mind says no, that this isn't a team that's tooled for a deep playoff run. And I think the thing that the Sharks have to worry about is that they need to worry about, you know, not becoming a team like the Calgary Flames. For all the credit Daryl Sutter gets, I think the one thing everyone kind of looks over and glosses over, is that time in Calgary where he was the coach and the GM, and he made trades that sold the future and sold the future and sold the future to try just, you know, take one more run. And it was for nothing. And it took years for Calgary to get out of that. And this is kind of where the Sharks are at. The Sharks have a choice to make. They can be the team that's going to buy now, and have nothing to show for it when it comes to when it comes to the future. Or they can, they can start selling now, and maybe they don't go into like a total Buffalo tank. But I don't think it's a terrible idea to sell now, get draft picks, and, and if they make the playoffs, great. And if they don't, well, that's still a good draft pick in what's supposed to be a really deep draft. Obviously, we're not going to draft Eichel. We're not going to draft McDavid. But this is supposed to be a really deep draft, so missing the playoffs might not be the worst thing, because it seems like the first round is full of just guys that are going to be players. So my prediction for tonight, obviously, is my prediction. I don't know if I have any predictions. I have a hope that the Sharks are going to come out firing. I hope that the Sharks, obviously, I want them to win. I think this is a team that they can beat. I think that T-Mac really usually has his guys ready to play Detroit. Detroit still, now that they're in the Eastern Conference, they may not be the rival they once were, which is kind of sad, because really, who has more playoff history with the Sharks specifically? Obviously, I mean, Detroit's been around forever. They're, a classic team. But I don't know if anyone's played the Sharks in the playoffs as much as the Red Wings have. So, I still think that the Sharks still get up for these games, even though obviously with Detroit's shift to the East, they're not as important as they once were. But I still think these are games that the Sharks should get up for. I think that Todd McClellan, will get up for this game. And I think that the Sharks, should have a good performance tonight. If they don't, I don't know what to tell you anymore, guys. I've really held most of this time that this is a playoff team, but I'm not so sure anymore. My thoughts before was we'd make the playoffs and get killed unless we played maybe like a Vancouver in the first round. I thought Vancouver would be the battle of the pretenders and we might win that one. But I don't know, guys. As this team is a playoff team, I'm not as sold as I was a week ago. And it's not because we lost this Stadium Series game. I'm of the opinion the Stadium Series game was, it's a nice spectacle and it's cool for the families and whatnot, but it was a regular season game. It was just another regular season game against a team that generally just I hate. What can I say? I hate the Kings. All right, guys. I'm clearly rambling at this point. I probably should go and lie down or something. I hope that I'm actually awake to watch the game tonight. I make no promises. I will probably, if anything, I might do another video for Good, Bad, and Ugly tonight if I am still awake to watch the game, but I really doubt it, although I have slept most of the day, so we'll see. Anyway, thanks again for taking the time to watch the video. Thanks to all the people that read the blog. I can't tell you enough how much I love it. Of course, the blog can always be found at ianblogssharks.blogspot.ca. You can also email me questions or comments or anything else. ian.blogs.sharks@gmail.com. Go Sharks. I hope they win. And I hope that I can do a good, bad, and ugly tonight that doesn't have to rip them to shreds. Thanks again for watching, guys.